Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast. I'm Dane Hennen. To my right, Levi Gates.
Yay, Hetter Levi.
And across from me, Anthony Fisher.
Hey.
And last but not least, Morgan McMurray.
Hey, guys.
All right, guys. Welcome to the show. And this week, it's been a little gloomy outside, but I'm sure we got some stories from the weekend, something more positive. What'd you do, Anthony?
Oh, you want to start with me first?
Yeah. Let's get it right out. What you got?
Well, first, before we begin with the weekends, Dane, I actually want to go over just some business-related topics, some things such as what's going on here around the Rag Company, just to kind of get people up to speed, because I feel like we always do our weekends first, and we kind of just try to fill the end with some Rag Company stuff. So, in this week's news, if you guys haven't already seen, but we released a new towel last week. It is called the Liquidator Drying Towel. It is an 8, then an R at the end there. And so this is a 70-30 twist loop drying towel with longer twist loop weaves than the Twistress and then the Twist and Shout. So it is different. It is also 1100 GSM with a hemmed border on it. So instead of having an edge, it's more of just a hemmed edge.
It's rolled over.
Yeah, some people call it like a hidden edge or a hemmed edge, but it looks really, really nice. And so this towel, for reference, kind of get people up to speed. We received lots of requests of this style of towel, and this is a kind of towel that has a good weight to it and a really good floppy feel. And so most of the Twistress and the Twist and Shout and even the Gauntlet don't really have that flop because they're so structurally rigid and they're so kind of dense in that way. Whereas this one, it kind of tends to, it feels very floppy in your hands. And some people like that satisfying feel. And so we wanted to kind of key in on that and then also throw a little twist on it with a really cool color as well. So it's got the same color, a very similar color to our blue Minx towel. And so a really beautiful blue turquoise. And this towel is really freaking absorbent. It's very large as well. And so I would say that this single towel could dry off any vehicle, really, no matter the size, next to a semi, of course, but it is a very absorbent towel. It feels really nice on the paint, feels really nice in the hands, works great with a drying aid. The only downside to having elongated loops, right, like a longer pile twist loop, is that those loops do have a tendency to catch on sharp edges. So that's the one thing to kind of keep in mind, is that when you're using this towel, make sure you're not, hitting any sharp edges or trim or anything like that, because it will just break off one of the loops. But not a big deal. You simply just cut off that broken loop, and the towel is back to new. So we recently released that, and then we are still booming on our in-store sales, and then on Amazon. And so we're selling lots of bead maker. People are picking up gallons and gallons of bead maker, and we've spent almost the last week packing bead maker ourselves, right, Levi?
Yep, we've been doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've been kind of helping around because we are busy. Things are going great here. We're just trying to keep up with first off the orders and everybody that's wanting to get into their spring, summer cleaning and detailing routines. So I'm super happy to see all the P&S products being sold, and everything from bead maker to express. We're looking forward to what's going to be happening here within the next month or so. In terms of things that we have up our sleeve, and I won't say any more than that. But studio is still going great. We're still kind of finishing up the final few touches on that. I would say that probably another month until it's fully complete, Levi.
Yeah, we're
like 75%.
We still got to get our wash bay built, and then of course all the leftover technical stuff that we have left, with making sure the lights are all up and running. Getting all those situated, as well as cameras and other, audio stuff. But we're pretty close. We're pretty close to being set up. The biggest thing is,
and Morgan's located in what will become the podcast studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of our
so a little more time
stuff.
Spent there.
So we heard today from Jeff that we're bringing on Gabe Garcia for the next few weeks to help us out. Now that school's out fully. He's a teacher, and as many of you remember, Gabe started doing videos with Dane right here at the Rag Company. So we're bringing on Gabe to help assist Nick in just getting this place finished. That's been kind of the rough thing, is just trying to get them done. So it's just a lot of work. So
a lot of parts.
Yeah. So it'll be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. So, but that's been going on here, and then some other things to look forward to, or hopefully some video content here in the very near future. Maybe some more in-depth videos that we're going to kind of do. But yeah, we're really excited about the summer. You know, regardless of whether we travel or not, or anything like that ends up happening, we still have just a lot going on and plenty to do to stay busy. And we're really excited for just the general vibes to improve in the world at some point, right? So people are feeling more motivated, because I think we can all agree that, you know, with everything that's been going on, it's kind of unmotivating, but it doesn't really make sense, because, you know, if you know, business is booming, or if the success is still there, then you should still have, you know, a lot of ambition, and you should still feel pretty motivated. But I think it's still kind of, I don't want to say doom and gloom, but let's just say the weather around here isn't helping, because it's going to be raining for an entire week. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big fan of overcast stuff.
Well, people got to understand that doesn't really happen very often around here. I mean, usually it's on the brighter side of overcast or just sunny. So to actually have some storms roll through and stuff and hang around for a week, that's a little odd for here.
Well, it's late. And we usually have it. It's pretty hard in April.
This is the time of year that it happens, but they happen in like spurts. You get a couple of days and then it goes by.
And we have two former residents of Washington State here in this podcast here.
I'm from Bellevue.
Morgan, you said Bellevue, right?
Right.
Very upper class area, very green.
Yeah, lovely area.
Starbucks on every corner.
Better version of Seattle.
Yep.
Yeah, a better version in Seattle, and obviously, you know the median household income there is at least 200,000. So that that just
Bellevue is kind of like Newport Beach,
a great
down in
background.
California.
Yeah, no,
nowadays,
good for you, Morgan. You know, I grew up in Modesto, California, so I don't know what that says about me, but you know, I enjoy the little
none
things.
of you are true Idahoans, is what it means.
Well,
is there a true Idahoan in this group?
Oh, look, there he is.
Yep. Born and raised here in Boise, Idaho. Born St. Luke's Hospital downtown. 40 years ago.
I was born. Carolyn used to like help out or something. She told me.
Nice.
Huh. Maybe she helped you.
Maybe she could have helped me.
Maybe
she could have pulled you out.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is, Levi, so you are a true Idahoan. You're 100% Idahoan. Yeah, but you're 6% Hispanic.
Yep. The Gates family name has been in the area here of Idaho
since the fur trappers.
Not that far, but since the turn of the century of the 1900s. Gates family has been here in Boise. So long-standing. We were originally the only Gates in the phone book.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Since then, you know, you guys have procreated to really create a very big lineage of the Gates family here.
There are people on Instagram that live in Boise that are Gateses that I've never even met. I don't even know who they are.
What's funny is that I will see people on Facebook with the last name Gates that look like Levi, right? But may not even be friends with Levi. And I say, hey, who's this on here? And they're like, oh yeah, that's my nose. And those are my eyebrows. So chances are they're a Gates, maybe a distant cousin of some sort. Yeah. And they all have a very similar look, which is kind of odd.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dominant gene.
It is. And so
what I was going to say with that is, even though I am only 6% Mexican, I have been practicing my Norwegian because of my Northern European heritage. Anthony, you found out that you too had some Norwegian in you.
I'm 2% Norwegian.
Yep. So here's the deal. Yesterday was Constitution Day in Norway. It's like Independence Day for us. So very big holiday, parades, hot dogs, the whole 9 yards. Great time.
I love that.
I spoke with a fan of the program, longtime listener, longtime contributor, Didrik Danielson. Didrik said because of COVID, they had to kind of be more home. They had to spend some time. Said it was a very different, unique Constitution Day.
Yeah.
Norway yesterday.
So my question is for Didrik. Do you think Didrik was actually at one time, a descendant of a Viking?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
He kind of has that Viking look to him, if he were to grow a beard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he is a larger
Didrik,
framed man.
That's Anthony telling you to grow a beard.
Yeah.
If you need, I can send you some supplies.
Yeah, and Levi, you're but you're an ambassador of a Norwegian beard company, correct?
Yeah, yes, that is correct. Beard Struggle. Check out the Beard Struggle.
Sweet segue.
Also, I'd like to use this time to plug newair.com for sponsoring the Rag Company podcast with a fridge, as well as a fridge for the MOS HQ. Go check out my story posts on Instagram. You can see my unboxing video that I did with Augie.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yours was called the Pepsi and Pete, right?
Pepsi and Pete. So the vintage
So who's
logo.
Pete?
Pete was the old logo mascot. He was like a police officer, drinking some refreshing Pepsi Cola.
All right.
Wow. That's very cool. All right. Well, now we can get back into our weekend. Sorry, Dane.
I was going to say, man, really just knocked the wind out of my sails. I'm like, I got a flow going, and we're like moving into it. And then all of a sudden, like, well, before you do that, let me stick a big old stick in the spokes of your bike and just flip you right over the handlebars.
Well, it's actually, I'm throwing a stick in front of you on rollerblades. So if you've ever seen Big Daddy, or I think it's Big Daddy, but I just throw the stick down and you fall into the river.
Oh no! Yeah,
So,
I think I got the picture there.
So no, Anthony, tell us about your weekend. What'd you do?
Yeah.
So my weekend started on it started on a Friday night, obviously. The day previously I had gone, I think it was on a Thursday night, I gone and got my fenders rolled on my Honda Civic. Because I had told you guys I got my alignment, but my rears were rubbing pretty bad. So that was something where I was really afraid to do a fender roll because you hear so many horror stories because when you roll a fender, the idea is that you're rolling the rear lip of your fender. There's that lip that goes right above your wheel. Some cars have them, some cars don't. And you're rolling that inward to give you more clearance. Now, during that process, there's a couple things that can happen. You could buckle the fender, meaning that the whole fender dents in. You can crack the paint. You can chip the paint. You can maybe find rust that you didn't think was there. There's just lots that can go wrong. And so I was kind of afraid, to do the whole process, but I'm like, you know what? Hey, it's the Civic. It's got to be done. Let's just go for it. And so I went over to my friend Chris's house. He really took his time, and it took us about 30 to 35 minutes on each fender. Lots of heat with a heat gun. I mean, lots and lots of heat, taking breaks, rolling, and finally getting it to where I had really, really good clearance. So now the car, I can finally make the most of my alignment, if that makes sense. So I thought the car handled good, a year ago, but now the car really does handle substantially well for what it is. And so I'm pretty stoked. Some would say that it almost handles as good as the famous Elantra with blown struts.
Very excited. I'm excited to go for a
High
ride.
bar.
Now that you have proper camber plates,
you
have those nice lowering springs, those True Heart coilovers or whatever you have under there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
nice.
the difference, what I like is that, so when we ride in the Elantra, we'll typically bottom out and the struts will hit the top hats, right?
One of the rear right is leaking currently.
They're just tired. They need a break.
No, that's like
they need a nap.
Extra. What I need to do is get like those, like you see on the trophy trucks, like the extra shock, like the reservoirs.
Just keep them the same crappy state they're in, but just increase the travel.
Yeah. Just fill it with more fluid. Usually, I'm sure we can do it with like a bucket and like a hose, and just tap drill a hole in the top, and we'll just
fill them with water.
Fill them with water. It's fine. Straight up the tap, right?
Yeah.
Not even
hydraulic fluid.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh man, that's kind of haunting.
No, but so riding pretty nice though. No.
So I did that, yeah. So that was kind of that, and then Friday, I'm trying to think. Friday, got off work, and what did we do Friday? I think we all left, and we left here. What did we end up going to do? I can't even remember.
I went home.
Okay, that's
what I did on Friday. So I don't know what you did after that.
Sometimes, my days kind of blend in. Okay, so I do remember what I did. I went home, went over and helped my parents with some stuff. My parents needed to file some things, and so I went and helped them do some of that. They always have struggles with working apps and things like that, right? They have like
Right,
iPads, they have
yeah.
iPhones, but like it'll be as simple as, hey, this is not letting me do this, and I have to go over there, and I sit there and through just, how do I say this, right? Let's just say if they're in an app, right, and there's a button, there's a function that they're looking for, and they can't figure it out to save their life, right? There's no settings or anything like that they can go to, but like because we're the age group that we are, I can walk over there and I can say, oh, you have to hold down the button to pop this up, right? You have to hold down the button that you're wanting, and they'll give you the menu. And they look at me like, how are we supposed to know that? And I'm like, how are you supposed to know that, right? Like, that's not very intuitive unless you're doing this stuff all day long. So helped him out with some stuff, went to the gym Friday night, got a leg workout in. That was pretty horrible. Saturday morning, I had to help Katie out because she's her rental properties that her dad has. They're all for college students. And so basically he has a handful of rental properties that he rents out to BSU students. And it's a pretty cool deal that they have. And he bought most of these properties during the recession, for well under $100,000. And what he did is he got these, kind of, fixed them up a little bit. But what he does is he rents them out on a room by room kind of contract. Basically what he does is it's a yearly contract, and he gets in these students, and basically the students need to find, 4 or 5 other people that they want to live with. And what he does is he furnishes the homes. He puts all brand new dishes, all brand new Tupperware, knives, you name it, does everything new every single year, donates the old stuff. And he charges these students for the room, which covers all the utilities, the internet, and then they get all new stuff, right? So basically,
kind of like a dorm situation.
I was gonna say, it's like he's creating an unofficial dorm.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's like a miniature dorm, and so I can't remember. I can't remember if it's 6 or 7 houses that he has, but he does. A couple of houses will be all female, a couple of houses will be all males, and they don't mix and match, right? So he doesn't have males and females in the same house. So what they do is they get into these rooms, they have all new stuff, and then they pay like a flat rate. So let's just say, for example, it could be $600 a room, right? Or it'll be maybe a person in a 4-bedroom house. 1 bedroom, which is the smallest, might be like $450. The medium sized room might be $550. The whatever it is, the spare might be $600, and then the master bedroom would be $650, right? So
man, rent sucks these days.
Well, Dane, you have to think about it. Paying to live in the dorms is more expensive than that.
No, it is.
So,
you're
paying
for that
just
location.
Rent, period. Like, but the price of
my rent experience is from like 8 years ago. So I don't have the current.
My mom rents at the apartment complex Carly and I rented in 14 years ago. And when Carly and I rented our 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment there off of Warm Springs, we paid $515 a month.
Yeah.
Then from there, we went and bought a house, and our house payment was like $1,300 a month when we bought right at the peak of the market in 2008, right before the market crashed.
Ooh,
so
not a
we were
great
like,
time.
whoa, we went from $515 a month to $1,300. Those apartments are going for $1,000 now a month.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
13 years later.
Yeah.
So
like, it's a very small. I mean, it's a good sized place, but it's about $1 a square foot.
Yeah. So, but so anyways, long story short, I went over there to help out with a couple things. They had dropped some stuff off, and they had just done new flooring inside one of the houses. And what's kind of cool is that these houses are actually really, really interesting. They're very Dane houses because they're older houses, but they all have some like weird quirk or feature to them, right? And so, these are houses from whatever it is, the 50s and 60s, and and
mid-century, man, it's where it's at.
Dane, you could rent one of those houses,
and
I would rather just don't.
Nice.
So like they'll have but which is kind of cool because like if you think about it as like a college kid, right? Some of these houses have like little secret rooms in them or something weird, right? To where I'm like, oh, I know what goes on in this room as a college kid, right? But like it's interesting that it's there in the first place, right? It's just kind of fun. So went over there.
They're not cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's not cookie cutter, but helped out with that. went and had lunch with Katie and her dad, and because her dad was in town for the weekend, and did that, and then had dinner over at the house later that night again. And then Sunday, I went to Lowe's, ran some errands, got some stuff we needed for around the house, returned some stuff, and went home, and I cleaned out her car. Her car hasn't been cleaned since the beginning of December or whatever it was, November. So I had to do a full interior detail on hers. I did use the For Real, and I loved it. It was amazing.
Right.
So
Changes
that is
the game right there.
Very, very handy tool. If you haven't picked one of those up for your vacuum, pick one up. I would highly recommend putting it on there. My problem is that it fit on there, but once I start really getting aggressive and start really rubbing and scrubbing the carpet, it might fall off. So get like a piece of duct tape if you want, and you can just tape that sucker on there, and it's not going to go anywhere. And it works also as kind of like a crevice tool, which is pretty nice as well. So went through the whole car, vacuumed everything, cleaned the interior, dressed the interior with Wool's interior finisher. Car really turned out, it looked really, really good. I can't look too closely because the crappy part about having a 4Runner is that those plastics will scratch just by looking at them. That's what happens. They're impossible to keep looking perfect. And so I'm kind of like trying to look past all of that. I'm trying to look past everything else and say, you know what? All in all, it's still in good shape. There's nothing crazy, that's happened in there yet, but it's the workhorse vehicle out of the family. So, but that was pretty much it. Did that, hung out for the rest of the night, ordered some cut bop, and ate some delicious cut bop and hung out. So that was my weekend. Pretty chill, nothing too crazy.
No, not too bad. How about you, Levi? What went on over there?
So many wonderful things this weekend. Friday, went home. I had been earlier in the day. I was very upset.
About what?
I need to apologize. I think I was a little prickly on Friday afternoon, and I know I was starting to rub Dane the wrong way a little bit. He was getting
you had a big letdown.
Well, you had horrible news. After
extremely disheartening.
You were built up so much just to be just literally completely devastated.
Yeah. I was riding a high that morning, some would say, and then the rug was pulled out from under me.
Well, explain what happened, Levi.
I was gonna say, got to elaborate for the folks at home.
So, as you all know, I sold my little red truck a little while ago, and it was something I got rid of. Didn't really feel like I needed it, but I felt the missing necessity of a pickup bed, so to speak. So I thought about it long and hard, and my wife and I, put our heads together and thought, how can we best remedy this situation? My father owns 12 trucks. Could borrow one of his many trucks and utilize it. However, I'd have to drive to his house, which is about 20 minutes. And then I'd have to drive back to my house, which is about 20 minutes. Then I'd have to fill that truck up, drive to the dump, which is about 30 minutes away, drop it off, dump it out, drive back. There's a lot of, it's too much work. It's too much
logistics issue for you.
To pick up a third vehicle from my father. So, or a fourth vehicle, I should say. So, brilliant idea. Truck bed trailer. You take the back half of an old truck, you take the cab off, you take the frame rails, you cut them, you turn them into a point, you put a hitch on there, and boom, you can use the truck as it was needed. But with the utility of the Suburban, I can just hook it right up, drag it around, do all the stuff that I need. So I've been on this quest for a truck bed trailer, someone said. And it is a very prestigious quest. One that many of you know. Anthony has been purchasing MacBooks from Facebook Marketplace. And so his alerts are set to go off when a MacBook Pro goes up for sale based on the specs he wants. Well, my alerts have been going off for truck bed trailers in this time period as well. However, I have a price point I need to reach. I don't want to go too high because I feel like I could buy the truck for that price. So I've had them very low. Well, one went up for sale. I reached out to the customer, to the person. They said, yes, that sounds great. Call me tomorrow. I sent them a text on Friday morning, said, hey, I can come out. Here's the time frame. I can be there on Saturday. Would you like me to Venmo you some cash in the meantime to hold the spot so that I can be there on Saturday? They said, that is not needed. Don't worry about it. It's yours. We will see you Saturday morning. And I said, done. I called my father, reached out to him, said, hey, would you like to go to Emmett, which is a nice drive into the mountains, to pick up
father-son trip, right?
Yeah.
A lineage trip.
What a great time. Spend a Saturday morning with my father as we drove up to Emmett. And then I thought, it'd be better if I bring August with me. So not only do we have that, we have 3 generations of Gates boys driving up to Emmett to pick up
bonding over this truck bed trailer.
Now, around lunchtime, I noticed that the ad had been switched to pending. And I thought, oh, he's doing that to let people know that I'm coming up to get it. Then about 15 minutes later, it changed to sold. And I thought, I think that's because of me. Now, mind you, I didn't have to put any money on this. So I reached out to him, said, hey, man, just wondering if you did this because I'm coming up there tomorrow morning, I'll see you. And he said, nope, somebody already picked it up. I sold it to somebody else. They just came and got it. So
just like that.
No
warning, no nothing.
I said, wow, I'm really bummed and kind of surprised because we discussed this. And he said, yeah, well, sorry, man. They showed up.
Wow.
And I was, needless to say, I was very pissed. And I apologize if I took out, any of the said anger on my fellow employees and coworkers.
Well, you'd already bought it in your mind. I can see the frustration.
It wasn't more about the buying it in the mind. It was the fun Saturday morning I was planning with my father and my son.
Right, yeah, you were going to turn it into an occasion.
Well, then what I had to do was I had to call my dad back and say, sorry, not coming because it's sold. There's no reason to go out there. And he said, well, if you want, we can still hang out on Saturday morning. We can do some stuff. And you, me, and Augie, maybe we can go get breakfast or something. And I said, sure. Nope, we can't do that.
Oh.
Can't do anything like that. I'm just going to be detailing a car. And he said, well, we could still, you were going to detail a car anyway. We could still hang out if you'd like. I think that would be fun. And I said, nope, not going to do that. Nope. All right. Talk to you later. And hung up the phone. So I'm just kidding. I didn't do that with my dad. But
that feels so mean and unnecessary.
Yeah. No, my dad was, he was like, it's fine. I got stuff to do. Don't worry about it. We'll do it again. He told me to keep my eyes peeled. I thought I'd put out a Facebook post to stir the pot, put it into the ether, and see if the universe is going to provide me with a truck bed trailer. But, we'll see. I got 4 people that liked my post. I have 4,000 followers on Facebook, and 4 people liked that post. So not the answer I was really looking for, but I did have some friends that did reach out over the weekend. They had found some, they had sent some stuff. The hard part is I want a full-size truck bed. So I want a full long bed, 8-foot bed, because a truck like Dane's little truck, it's fine, but it's not enough.
Yeah, I got a 6-foot bed.
It's not enough. And so I'm looking for a full-size, half-ton, 3/4-ton pickup truck bed trailer. So, but.
Well, the one you were looking at was from like early 70s C10, wasn't it?
No, late 60s. So we
same body style, but
different body style. It was
up there like 71, 72. They were it's a classic C10. Everybody knows. Yeah.
67 to 72. Dave. That body style, though, that the rear suspension is very unique. It's a rear control arm setup. and so it's provides a ton of articulation. So it's actually a pretty good platform to build a trailer off of because of the way the suspension is designed. So anyway, keeping my eyes peeled. We'll see what we can do. Then Saturday, I worked on a Lexus GX 470 that a buddy of mine bought.
Yeah.
White with a dark charcoal gray interior. He's got a lift on it. He's got 33s and 17-inch wheels on it. It's a nice truck. He had the windows all tinted dark black again. It just had some old dirt and some dog smell in it. It had been detailed from the dealership when he picked it up, but it was silicone to death.
So
a
little dusty in there.
Huh?
A little dusty from the silicone.
No, just greasy. So he cleaned it out and had me come in and he just wiped everything down with Simple Drain to remove all the silicone dressing. But then he got in and he noticed he got some compressed air to blow everything out because this was just full of wet dog smell that it had when he picked it up. So I went through it. So the truck was actually immaculate. Like if you looked at it, anybody that wasn't a detailer would go like, "Whoa, he's a crazy guy over here detailing his car." His car detail is brand new. But it's a 14-year-old car, and my buddy Wayne has an eye that is a detailer's eye, and so he sees it and goes, "This is gross. You need to get in it." So I spent the weekend working on that, and then I actually used the McKee's 37 365 ceramic coating and actually applied it on there after polishing it. I also got to use the new Udos pads, and I used the new Udos wool, and I think that's my new favorite pad.
Wow.
Really?
What machine did you use it with?
I used my 15 on it, my Rupes 15, and it's this pad's pretty wicked. The rebound technology in the foam is actually pretty spectacular. But I use that with some O'Berk polish on the whole truck, just to kind of cut down some of the white, but also try and brighten it up a bit. And then I went over with their polishing pad with the coarse foam, which worked really good, and just knocked it down, smoothed it out. But it looked really nice. And then laid the coating on it, and then so it's kind of fun to be able to test a couple products. So the new Udos pads, and then the 365 coating. Let it sit. I dropped it off this morning at his work and picked up the Suburban. I traded him, so the Suburban got a rotation, including the spare. So all 5 Mamba wheels, courtesy of our friends at Koenig, got rotated, as well as those Maxxis tires. And then so that was my weekend in a nutshell. It was a very simple, very easy, fast, quick weekend. And this week, we'll see how it goes. My wife is still battling tooth pain, heavy tooth pain. She's at a oral surgeon right now, and they're talking about an extraction to pull the tooth. So we'll see. But it's basically what the oral surgeon is saying is what her dentist said 2 weeks ago. And the dentist was worried about doing those 2 things on his own without the oral surgeon's backup. And so getting into the oral surgeon finally, and the oral surgeon is confirming the same things that the dentist said.
One thing you want to be afraid of is the phantom pain, because they could yank that thing out.
It'll still feel like she's got a tooth there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. But she's been on antibiotics and pain pills for the last, it's going on, feels like 3 weeks. And it's just been heavy tooth pain. And so she's
the problem with those Norcos too is that Norco doesn't always actually fix tooth pain, because Norco doesn't, because basically when with tooth pain, it goes down to the nerve and it goes down to your actual jawbone there, right? And that can't fix that, right? And so, and the other thing too is you can build a high tolerance to Norco in a very small amount of time. When I had my wisdom teeth taken out, I had a what's it called? Dry sockets, right?
Yep.
And I went through a whole bottle of this Norco, right? Because I thought that's what I needed to do to reduce the pain, but it didn't work, right? And then the doctor said, hey, that wasn't meant for that. And you essentially wasted all that. Now you've built up a tolerance to that drug. and it will no longer be effective. So now what you need to do is you need to go to some, like, I don't even know what it was. I was shoving some type of stuff inside there, and it was just like the worst thing ever. So tell her, try to maybe look into other options. There's some numbing gels that you can put on your gums.
Yeah, so she's been using those lately. We've got some of that we've been using. And one thing I do not abide is teeth and tooth pain. So I do have lots of different gels, anal G6 and Analga 6, and some what else are they called? Like the Ambisols and the Oragels and the Clica.
You have that. Why do you have that much of an inventory?
Anthony, I have what are called just Irish teeth. So I have a lower level enamel content, so I do get pain once in a while. And I do not.
And you are saying that the Diet Pepsi did not contribute to that at all.
No, not in the quantities I drink it.
I was gonna say, for a man who's such an aficionado of candy, ice cream, sodas, all these various things.
Yeah, it's weird. Sugar has no effect on my caffeine.
That
no
there
effect.
might be some connection there. Maybe just
no effect
of a connection.
Nice thing is, my teeth look nice, so I never had braces. I don't have like weird stuff. I don't have any like weird gum issues or anything like that. So I have beautiful teeth.
Going crisscross.
Yep. No, I have beautiful teeth. They just molecularly are porous and have a tendency to fail in weird ways.
There you go. Blame your
I do have 3 gold teeth, so that's pretty nice. But anyway, so my weekend was pretty basic. Morgan, what'd you do? You sent us pictures of a lovely brunch, Sunday brunch.
Looked nice.
Or Saturday brunch that you had with
Saturday brunch. So obviously, as you guys know, what is it? Phase 2 now, things opening.
Mm-hmm.
So phase 2 started, which means that a lot of restaurants opened, hair salons, nail salons, things like that were able to open this weekend. So I got on the books for a pedicure before summer because that's something that girls have to do. So I finally was able to get around to do that, which I was very excited about because I've had it rescheduled like 4 times because I scheduled it, a while ago, and then things would get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So I finally got to do that, and I was excited. And then I pretty much spent the whole rest of the day coughing.
Oh no!
With my family, and then that was pretty much it.
Nice. How are Matt and Kelly doing? Has your mom been kind of stuck a lot at home, or your dad, has he been working from home?
Yeah, so he's been kind of doing like what we've been doing.
Okay.
Kind of like 50-50. Like splitting up the days. Like when he needs to go in, he will. But some of the stuff like he can do from home. So that's been good. And then my mom's just kind of been like enjoying having a little bit of a break. Yeah. And just taking a little bit of time to like chill and hang out and just do nothing without feeling bad about it. So that's been I feel like pretty good for her to have just a little bit of time to just, relax.
Yeah. That's good.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
And then last night, I had an eyelash appointment, and after I had my eyelash appointment, I needed to go get some bananas to make my smoothies because I have a smoothie every night because it's delicious. So I went into Fred Meyer because it was just closest to my eyelash appointment, and they had a lot of great sales on lots of things, a lot of fruit on sale. So I got a huge thing of strawberries for $2.
Holy crap.
Ooh,
which is like, wow.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
What a great deal. So I got some strawberries. And then also there's so much like clothing on sale and shoes on sale. So I got 2 pairs of shoes and a very nice shirt for like $20.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
It was
so they're just trying to clear everything out. They're just
it was a crazy,
through.
Up at the Federal Way store, Fred Meyer's, that same thing. It was massive. To the point that like Friday night, Carly went up there to go wander around, and she went back Saturday morning.
Yeah.
She was like, I got to go back and go through some of their stuff because they were having such huge clearance sales and sales on stuff. So
crazy.
So yeah, she took the kids to the mall because things were open. She said there was like 4 or 5 stores open in the mall, but she said it was amazing to see the number of people. But her and the kids had their masks on.
Yeah.
They went through the mall, but the kids were just having a blast just to be out and about.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
Well, like, how were people out and about, like, because there's more of them now? Did they seem like they're being cautious, or they just kind of like whatever and they just go in? Because I've seen a mixed bag myself, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people were still like pretty respectful, like no one, because how sometimes like you'll be in the aisle of a grocery store and like people are just like too close to you and you're like, what are you doing? Like, get away from me. It wasn't like that at all. So like people are still at least like staying away from each other, just like out of respect for other people, which is a very new concept that I'm absolutely loving. So hopefully we'll keep that up.
Yeah.
Personal bubbles, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So no, that's all right.
So here's a throwback from back in the day. Do you remember the safety kids?
Ah.
Happened when I was in kindergarten. So I would have been 6 years old. So 34 years ago, this came out, and it was like a cartoon, but it was also books and songs. And it was like the safety kids. And one of them was personal space. And they taught us in elementary school and kindergarten and first grade that it was basically a hula hoop around your body. No one was allowed to enter that space except for like parents and doctors. Is basically the way they explained it.
Yeah, no, but you got to work in stranger danger pitch.
Yeah, but that was the easiest way. And it was like, but I just remember the song was like safety kids, safety. Anyway, so
that was a few
I'm
years
excited that everybody
I know what you're talking
is
about.
providing that space to others. So
yeah, everybody gets to be a bubble kid.
Yeah, but I noticed as well. People get out of the way more, which has been nice. It's hopefully sticks around. So
no, not a bad thing. So that pretty much did it for you, huh, Morgan?
Dane, did you?
Yeah.
Did you go to Cracker Barrel again this weekend?
I did not.
No,
I went and got myself some Express Cafe.
Okay, all right.
I hooked it up that way because, of course, and I don't want to disappoint you, but their chicken fried steak is still my favorite in the whole wide world. So I got that to contend with. But they don't have those cinnamon apples, those fried apples. That is one thing they don't have that Cracker Barrel did, and I'll be honest, those were awesome. So I give them points for that. But no, I got me some Express Cafe on Sunday morning, was loving that. But I'll reel it back to Friday because we all left after Friday. I'm kind of tired to head home. But of course, you guys got to enjoy a weekend. I had to come here and work, which is fine. Just got to make sure. But lately, I don't know if people understand how weird it feels, but we haven't really done a sale in quite a while. And the actual amount of sales occurring have not slowed down one bit. We are actually more behind than we ever really are.
Yeah.
It was pretty extreme, the number of sales going through and just the volume of it and like the manpower needed to keep it going. So normally our Saturdays are like, calm when I'm working the Saturdays. It's not too bad. I just come and manage, make sure I help the folks if they need it.
Normally it's just like, normally it's just like one of you. Like if it's like your dad or your mom or you or maybe John works a Saturday. You guys
we all rotate with each other, and there's usually only just the one of us, and then maybe three or four folks who are packing, right. And that's usually all that's necessary because we can get a lot of stuff done. They're very efficient,
5-hour day.
Great at what they do.
Yeah,
but this weekend it was like all hands on deck. We had quite a few folks, plus me, plus my folks, and yeah, it was kind of crowded in there, but we were all like going through packing orders. I was refilling all the bins so that they could then fulfill the orders with the products in those bins, just making warehouse runs and stuff. My pack has killed me because I must have made like 30, 40, 50 trips between stuff. But no, it was good. It was nice to see the stuff was moving, but at the same time, it definitely shows like, oh yeah, we're going to need more space to pack stuff because this looks like it's going to be the new normal now.
Right.
So yeah, that is kind of factoring in. So we're making more room. We're trying to up our efficiency game. We're dedicating more of a chunk of the warehouse based on, some good design input from you guys and just stuff we've seen to make things more efficient on the warehouse, move like the fulfillment stuff out to there where we can like expand it more, create more of an assembly line arrangement for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really going to help. But just the area we've been doing it forever is finally being outgrown. So we kind of have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It's just, I did not expect there to be that much stuff going on that day. So right after work was over, I stayed here maybe another hour or two editing a little bit. And I was just tired, like dead tired. I was planning on going and looking at like some dealerships or stuff, just bouncing around looking at some cars. But I ended up just being way too tired. And I did not want to be test driving a vehicle with my like eyelids heavy, just like, that's not a recipe for anything good. So I went home. I got home at about 6 p.m., something like that. And I thought, take a little nap. And I'm normally not like nap guy, but I was just too tired. Whatever hit me, it hit me. Got in there. I woke up and I thought it was like maybe 7, 8, 9 p.m. I could faintly see what the clock said. I woke up because the dog woke me up, needed to go out. I look and it's 1:53 in the morning. I'm just like, oh, okay, whoa, wait a second. So
hey, you almost died.
I was just dead tired. Whatever that was, I normally don't get that way, but that hit me really hard. So,
and Liz,
the problem is normally I stay up until
like she was just like, he's asleep.
Well, she was planning to wake me up so we could go get some dinner. But when she saw how tired I was, she just said, you know what, I'll just make myself some ramen. So she went and made ramen and then just woke up in the morning like, what happened? But yeah, no, that was kind of the case. I wasn't expecting that. That hasn't happened to me in a long time. I'm normally a night owl, so I'll stay up really late. And then I come here and I usually make it by the skin of my teeth at 9 in the morning. But I'm usually up until like 2 a.m. I have a hard time falling asleep before midnight, 1, 2, something like that. So that's normally where I'm at. For all you weirdo night owls, I feel you, I see you. But as far as Sunday goes, I took that opportunity with my like super rejuvenated self. Like, all right, I'm game. I'm going to go do this stuff. Got out, got that Express Cafe, enjoyed it. Great time. And then decided to turn it around and head out to some dealerships. I just wanted to go look at, these insane offers that you and Anthony pointed out to me that, it's what Anthony did with the 4Runner was that lease deal. And I'm normally very opposed to buying anything new or leasing or doing that kind of stuff. Other people do that. That's fine. That's their business. But for me, I just never felt like that was something I would do.
Right.
I like buying stuff that's already depreciated, hence everything I've ever bought. I like getting it after all the initial hit has occurred, and then I can reap the rewards of, this was once an expensive car, but now I can enjoy it at a reasonable price for what I can afford. And you get some miles. You're not finding anything that's like below 50,000 miles usually for what I'm looking at. But at the same time, it's like you're getting a bargain. I like a deal. But when it came down to it, you guys told me about these lease deals, and the Toyota ones are ridiculous. Now, I know I'm Mr. Interesting Car and all that, and I like having my weirdo cars. If it were up to me, I'd be buying a practical car would be like a Mitsubishi Delica, JDM van or something. But the reality is, okay, don't be a weirdo, Dane. Look at these lease offers. Genuinely look at it and realize the deal you're getting here. So what it is Toyota does this thing where they have the Tacoma and the 4Runner in particular are these ridiculously good lease deals where it's like you're getting a new one and not a base model, not like a stripped out model like the SR or whatever, like really just super, basic. You're actually getting like a TRD off-road, which I believe they have a 2-wheel drive version also, but I think the deal actually stands for the 4-wheel drive. And you can get a extended cab long bed, like a 6-foot, or you can get a crew cab with a slightly shorter bed, a 5-foot bed. So I'm looking at those, and they have 2019s for lease for $209 a month, which is just
that's cheap.
Nuts.
So cheap.
But then I look and I see the 2020s, and I see they're going for $239 a month. And then, of course, my first instinct is, well, I'm normally on top of like all the research on cars and stuff, but honestly, I haven't looked that closely at them because I wasn't necessarily, in the market to look at that kind of stuff, but I wanted to know what's the difference between a 2019 and a 2020. Well, there was definitely some decent differences. Among one of them was Toyota usually gets kind of some hate for like their infotainment systems being kind of behind the curve compared to a lot of automakers. Like Hyundai even makes like amazing infotainment stuff for what you're getting for your money.
True.
But the 2020 4Runner and Tacoma are actually finally getting like Apple CarPlay and stuff like that. So that's actually awesome having that standard on all the models.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, they're getting a bigger screen and all that. And I'm normally super drawn in by that, but it's like when I buy my used vehicles, the first thing I usually do is go find a stereo to replace it with so that I can run my apps and stuff on it. Because I just like having
It's all about
that. So like
running
knowing
apps.
that's in there, jumping up from the 209 to 239, it's like, okay, fine. If that gets you more of the basics and some cool extras, it's like, all right, I'd consider that. And yeah, there's some money down, but the way you guys explained it was effectively when it's all said and done, I know, we all know the Tacoma and the 4Runner have excellent resale value with after a year or two of ownership. They're still worth basically what you paid for them if you bought one outright.
Yep.
But when it comes to leasing, it's pretty cool because, yeah, like any lease, at the end, you have the option to buy. And when you do that, you set yourself up to get a stupid good deal on a vehicle that, I mean, yeah, they're not cheap by any means. I don't necessarily like being on the hook for like a $30, $40,000+ car, but when you knock out some of the depreciation hit through the lease with a really good monthly rate, and then you have the option to buy, and your buyout price is less than what the vehicle is worth, it's kind of a no-brainer if you have the means to do it and you're in a good situation to do so. Yeah. So for me, it honestly clicked, and you guys really pushed that one home. But I was originally looking at like used Tacomas and 4Runners and GX 470s, because those Lexus GX 470s are a stupid good deal if you find the right one.
Well, yeah, and just to put it out there, appealing. Right now you can pick up a 2019 4Runner SR5 where you lease it for 36 months, $3,000 due at signing for $289 a month. And that's going on till the 1st of June, so you got a couple weeks to do it.
And that's the thing that got me looking, was the June 1st was the cutoff date for a lot of these deals. So I was like, okay.
Pretty
they must be their COVID deals, and they just kind of extended them to then.
Dane, I could see you driving a black 4Runner. I could.
Yep.
I'm already like just crazy because the Jaguar is black and I see everything on that paint.
Here's the deal. The Tacoma deal is, you're saying, Dane, you're right. $239 for Tacoma TRD off-road.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
36 months
towards.
For $239 a month.
Yeah.
Like that's, or you could also get a 2019 Tacoma TRD off-road for $209, like you're saying.
No, it's a ridiculously good deal to someone who's in a good position to do it. I have good credit. I could do that kind of thing, and I could probably land exactly what they're offering there. But at the same time, I'm like, whoa, do I want to be on the hook for a vehicle that expensive?
Right.
But at the same time, if the monthly payments are such that it's okay and the resale value holds, and it will, especially on a Tacoma or something, that's one of those ones where it's like, okay, I guess you weigh the pros and the cons, but it's like if I'm getting rid of 2 vehicles and just getting this one so that I only have 2 vehicles and I'm only paying insurance on 2 vehicles, that reduces some costs on my end too. So it all kind of ends up in a wash from where I am now, but I end up having a much newer vehicle with killer resale value.
What's nice is
I'm normally not like Anthony, where
it also says they're waiving the security deposit, which is nice. It's pretty.
Dane,
it's like 20.
Dane, you have to do this. We're gonna do it today. We're heading down there with you today.
Let's go.
I'm pointing a gun to you, and I'm saying, sign this contract.
No, the Tacoma is the one I was leaning towards, but the 4Runner is the only one that would fit in my garage. The Tacoma won't fit in my garage. Not without
either way,
Dane.
In your eyes, they're both trucks, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I know that upsets Morgan. She was really mad when I was calling certain SUVs trucks, but I had criteria for it.
I'm not going into this again.
That was a fun little debate there. So I know somebody in the comments, if you want to weigh in, are certain SUVs trucks? Because I think you posted something like was a picture of a Suburban. It goes, stop calling this a truck. It's not a truck. It's like, well, the Suburban's based on a truck frame. It's body on frame, and it's. I won't go all the way into it, but basically, there's logic behind it.
On that, on her mommy mean jeans.
Yeah, that got me going because I love just like arguing minutia like that because I have strong opinions over things that don't matter. But no, that was a fun thing. So I'll grant everybody that. But I am curious now. You guys can debate it down in the comments, like what constitutes a truck, what constitutes an SUV, and everything in between. I think we have our own made up rules in our heads, but I'm curious to see what other people think. But no, yeah, that's basically what I did with the rest of my time. Only problem was it was Sunday, so there was nobody at the dealerships. I was hoping there would be because I thought Sunday is a good day to be at a dealership. It'd be a smart time to be open, but they weren't.
Well, you got to remember that a lot of dealerships, yes, even though a lot of them are open 7 days a week, especially with COVID and a lot of people not being around and the loss in sales of maybe cars have been struggling. It's probably cheaper to just shut the place down.
It's expensive to staff it,
than to keep it open, and that way they don't have to worry about paying people or having the electricity and all that.
Well, and I went between two dealerships. There were two Toyota dealerships here close to where I live, basically the same distance, but in opposite directions from my house. So the one here on Fairview, that's the Peterson one, and then Edmark over in Nampa. And I took a look at both. And Anthony, I know you'll be excited to see they had a Voodoo Blue Tacoma that was a TRD off-road that fit the bill. And I was very excited looking at that.
Dang, you need to get that. Then we can call it the Ragcoma.
That sounds terrible, but I love it.
Too funny.
Yeah. So at any rate, I just thought that was... No. Okay, so that was one of those things where I thought, okay, just So I just thought that was interesting. I thought that was a good opportunity for anybody else who's out there. I don't know if it's going to work the same for people around the country, but at least over here, that's what we are seeing. So that was a pretty good deal. It may be even better depending on where you are. I don't know. But it's worth looking at if you're already kind of in the market for something like that, and you don't mind taking on the burden of a car loan. But at any rate, that was basically my weekend. So that's it. Looks like we got over the hour mark just a little bit ago. Tim was giving me the thumbs up there.
Oh, sweet.
But was there anything else we want to add to this week's podcast before we wrap things up?
No, just that I think we've got Memorial Day coming up this weekend. We got a lot of folks, hopefully, if you're traveling, if you're getting out, hopefully after being cooped up, you guys are staying safe. Hopefully everybody else is kind of seeing what we're seeing here in Idaho is that the reopening process has started happening across the country. So we're thankful that that if you hopefully you still have a job, hopefully you have been working through all of this like we have. For those of you that have had to be furloughed or home, that hopefully you're coming back to work and you're able to get back into the swing of things, and it'll be fun. It'll be exciting when everything's back to normal. We probably won't be traveling for the rest of the year until SEMA. We might random little trips. We'll keep you guys posted. But as of right now, we're going to be hosting some events here this summer. So we do have a couple things on the docket. One for sure, I believe is I think it's in June, end of June, and it is Justin Pate open house and all that kind of stuff with the RAP Institute. So we are planning on doing that as well as a Avery Dennison RAP training or certification training. So that's going to happen. We're talking about doing kind of a grand opening party for the new studio as well once that's finished. July 11th, I believe, also is when the Hidden Springs car show is, which Sydney Gwynn puts on in Hidden Springs. And what I've heard the rumor is that PNS is talking about coming to that as well. So they may be stopping. They'll be stopping here as well. We'll probably have an open house kind of deal with them. So who knows? We may make the unofficial opening on that just so we can kind of have a fun weekend event for everybody, get some folks to come out and do some stuff. So we'll see how the dates shake out for everything, and hopefully we can have that kind of thing going on. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
hope everyone's
So
doing
there's still
good.
stuff that's going to be happening. It's just we're not going to travel as much because,
No.
frankly, most of the events we normally go to have been canceled and or postponed indefinitely. So,
Yeah.
which is just code for canceled.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So,
yeah, I think we got the gist there. So no, that's good. And yeah, I look forward to the Rap Institute thing. I don't know exactly what date in June we'll be doing that, or do we
I have it.
a
I have
clear
it.
date
I have it.
lined
I
up?
have to pull it up. We'll talk about it later, but just so
Yeah.
people plan, it's I think third weekend of June. It was
Okay.
going to happen right after we got back from Waxstock. So we'd be coming back from the UK and then right into that. So third to fourth week of July. So
yeah. Well, now we have plenty of prep time, so there is that. But all right, guys. Well, that pretty much
Take it
wraps
away,
up this
Dane.
week's show. Okay, so number one thing I want you guys to do, I've really been enjoying seeing everybody watching this stuff. Make sure you leave us some comments down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, say on iTunes, try and leave us a review. Even if you're on your phone, it's really helpful. Just through the podcast app, you can leave a review there. And it means a lot to us because it helps us get in front of more people. So if you just click a star rating and then you type a little, words of constructive criticism or just something nice, doesn't matter. Just do your thing. Be real. And we really appreciate that. And above all else, just make sure you're staying safe out there. We really appreciate you guys listening and tuning in every week to see what's going on. So, all right, guys, from all of us here, this is us saying adios.
See ya.